Hello everyone, I'm Grandmaster Denes Boros, and I want to show you a game from the reigning US champion who played none other than the Scotch Gambit itself. And the game features Carissa Yip, obviously, the reigning US champion, versus Vladislav Kovalev, who played as black and is a very strong Grandmaster. So not shockingly, here Carissa went for bishop c4. This comes from the line of e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, d4 pawn sacrifice, and bishop c4. Now, I have done videos talking about how to play the Danish variation, even recently talked about the Spanish Gambit, but this time we're going to focus on this one played by Carissa. Now, the whole point of the Scotch Gambit is to gain time for a measly pawn and go for an attack as quickly as you can. Knight f6, e5, trying to win time on the knight, d5. Strong move by black, which is not surprising as the black player here is a well-known and a creative grandmaster. Carissa goes bishop b5, knight e4, knight takes d4, here captures, pawn takes. And you may wonder why Carissa gives up her bishop pair. Well, she is trying to go on for the attack whatever the cost. So decides to go castle short, bishop c5, bishop e3. Now, bishop e3 is an interesting move. However, if you are going to play this, I'd recommend going f3 now, and then f4, and then go bishop e3, with the idea of knight d2. In this game, bishop e3 happened first, castles, f3, f4, knight d4, practically transposing knight d2. And now here I'm going to stop. The thing is, Carissa is trying to run it down with f4, f5, e6, playing against that passive bishop on d7. Now, if Kovalev would decide to trade everything without any repercussions, there'll be trouble because that bishop really doesn't have a future, while Carissa would have full dark square control, not to mention with some future plans to either go f5, f6 and create weaknesses around Kovalev's king, or even go f5, rook e1 and e6 in the future. So simple trades just wouldn't cut it in this position for Kovalev, and Kovalev obviously is trying to go for more. Knight takes d2, queen d2, bishop b6. Now this is a little bit of a moment. I'd ask you to pause the video and think about yourself. What would Kovalev try to do with this move? Also, how would you react? Now, I'm going to give you a little time. Yeah. So if you're back from that little bit of pause, now you could actually stop Kovalev's plan of c5, d4, which may just show up with two ways. Carissa could go knight b3, control the c5 square that way. However, that would mean that she'd have to withdraw her knight to b3. So the other one, which actually Carissa chose, is c3. And even if Kovalev plays c5, there is control over that d4 square, and there is no threat of that pawn avalanche with c5 and then later d4. In e7, rook e1. And this is Carissa at her best. She loves playing aggressive chess, and she is actually preparing the onslaught on the king side. c5, knight b3, putting pressure on those pawns, also kind of making sure that Kovalev is busy defending them. Bishop b5, rook f3, lifting the rook and preparing for an attack with rook g3 and an eventual bishop h6, bishop c4. And here comes the critical move by Carissa, and she plays the brave and very ambitious f5. She says, I do not mind if you take my pawn. I have my reasons. And if you don't react, f6 is coming, hitting both the queen and the pawn, and rook g3, bishop h6 comes very quickly. So Kovalev took, bishop g5, and surprisingly enough, that queen on e5 is actually trapped in the middle of the board. If you go here, bishop e7, and all is under trouble and pressure. So here Kovalyev decides to give up the queen, even though, of course, if queen d6, bishop e7, and white is winning lots and lots of material with the attack still raging. So if black goes here, captures f6, and with queen g5, rook g3 on the forefront, this is going to be near decisive. So here Kovalyev in desperation gave up the queen, takes, bishop e3. And here Carissa makes a good decision of trying to consolidate once she gets the advantage. Rook e8, king h1. Seemingly not the best, but Carissa just wants to tuck her bishop away on g1, and then even if the rook enters e2 or e1, there is no back rank mate. So takes, d4, trades, bishop g1, just tucking that bishop away. Queen d3, rook b2, f6. So another very good move by Carissa, trying to put pressure on Kovalyev's king while also making sure that her king is actually safe here and his king is under pressure. g6, trading the rooks, wants no part of that deal. Trades, h3, creating a little bit of space for her king. Rook d8, queen d2, queen e2, inching in, doing a little bit of circling. Bishop e1, stopping future d3, d2. Bishop d2, queen d6, queen e5, h4, just blasting it all open. Now she has a completely winning position. Takes, check, queen d7. And here Kovalyev resigned and Carissa won a beautiful game. So I really hope you enjoyed this little game by the reigning US champion Carissa Yip. She is a phenomenal player and attacking player, and if she keeps growing at this pace, she is like to become world champion very soon. So thank you so much for watching again. If you liked it, do subscribe for our YouTube content and videos. And if you have any comments and thoughts, please post it down below. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.